So about 7 weeks ago, this grass looked horrible, and I made the decision to basically redo this whole lawn. The soil was bad. I pulled soil samples. It was super high in salt, super high in phosphorus, low in nitrogen. So at that point, I went out, I got a dethatcher. I ended up dethatching the whole lawn, then sclarifying it. It's about 2,800 square feet out here. Did all that, and then prepped the soil with a little liquid nutrients. At that point, I put down 30 pounds of southern Bermuda grass. I did the bucket germination method, so submerged 6 pounds of seeds in paint bags, strainers, submerged them in water for 24 hours, and then changed the water every 12 hours after that, until I had chit, which is when the seed sprouts. It has little white roots coming out of it. At that point, I mixed it with 2 pounds of malorganite, which is a low nitrogen fertilizer. It's a 820, and I mixed 2 pounds to every 1 pound of seed so it could spread. At that point, spread the seed, and I was watering twice a day, every 8 hours, for the past 5 weeks. So 5 weeks is up. I did the first initial high cut and bagged it all up. You don't want all those clippings because I still do have St. Augustine mixed in here and weeds. The Bermuda is sprouted pretty good in some areas, not as good in others. So I bagged all that up. I just put out 7 pounds of a 30-00 blend, super high quality nitrogen. I went a little light. These people right here make excellent projects. CGI Turf, right out the state of North Carolina. Shout out, wife's family. But they make a really high quality turf product for basically golf courses. So the objective right now going forward, next few weeks with updates, is this nitrogen went down. Instead of 9.5 pounds, I used 7, went a little light since the grass is still new, but I needed something to push root growth and depth. So that's what we're doing right now. We're watering it in just so it doesn't burn grass. They didn't say it was really gonna rain today, but about the next 5 days, it says we're gonna have storms. So I'm trying to water it in right now. That way the grass doesn't burn. The objective from now on until about 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna put down insecticide that is safe. It's called Duocide. It's from the Anderson's company. That's gonna get rid of any grubs, mole crickets, which I have a problem with here. I've killed about 4 of them. When I water the grass, they'll start coming up. So it's gonna be in that prime time to where their babies start hatching too, and we'll kill all the pests in the ground. That way, the objective going forward from the next 2 weeks, I'll cut twice a week, about 4 days in between. I started out high today at a 3. I'll do my next initial cut at also a number 3. And then from then on out, I'll drop it down to a 2, do 2 more cuts at a setting 2. And then I'm going to hand reel, which is old school for some of you youngsters out there. That's an actual push blade, spins, it's got 7 blades on it. I'm gonna start dropping it down to an inch and a half at that point. I'll continue to cut all year at an inch and a half, which St. Augustine should die out because it doesn't like to be cut short, while the Bermuda loves to be cut short, and Bermuda is a very aggressive grass. So it should start to take over the St. Augustine and fulfill the lawn a lot more. I can't put down any weed killers this year. I started too late. The grass is too fresh. So that won't come till next year, but up until the fall, about December, I'll then put down a pre-emergent for weed control in the beginning of December, and then at the end of mid-February, probably mid to end of February, I'll end up putting down another pre-emergent going into the spring, and come, let's see, late March, end of March, going into early April, that springtime, I'm gonna have 4 cubic yards of 50% topsoil, and 50% mason sand dropped off here, and I'm going to level the whole yard out, get all the dips and grooves and everything in there. It's also going to add some good nutrients with that good fresh soil and sand mixture. Bermuda loves sand. If you ever look at a golf course, they fill every hole in with sand. Right after I leveled that, beginning of May, I'm gonna throw out another 30 pounds of Bermuda seed, and I'll have an irrigation system installed by then, and we'll water that in, and it'll almost be considered well, the Lord must have known I needed the rain and my water bill didn't need to go up, so I was able to turn off the sprinklers since I was watering in that nitrogen. So I decided it was going to rain early. Must be nice to be a weatherman and get paid to be wrong 50% of the time. Still have a job. But so going into after leveling the yard next year, I will throw out about 30 more pounds of a hybrid Bermuda seed. By the way, whenever you order seed, you need to look at the bags and the company you're buying it from, because a lot of companies, they won't have like weed free in there, and you'll get a bag of seed that has tons of weed seeds in there too, and you spread it out, and I hate to tell you, but the weeds are going to grow like wildfire quicker than your grass will. It's also going to starve your ground of nutrients. It's going to suck up all the nutrients. You're going to look for things that say like a hybrid if you really want like the golf grass turf look when you're starting to cut it low with real mowers. But you'll see a lot of companies that also market with like flashy designs or all these different coatings on them. I mean, do what you want. Some of the coatings are good. They help with water retention, or they say it makes birds not eat it. Hate to tell you, the birds are eating it. I watched them do it. I had a bag of it. They were eating the green seeds. But for instance, you look at something like this. It's literally just got an SDS instruction sheet on it. Has no flashy labels, but it's super high quality product. That's why it's about $80 a bag for 40 pounds. So we'll throw that seed out after we level the yard, and that seed will grow into the Bermuda that has taken over all this year. And then hopefully by the end of summer next year, the yard should be full Bermuda, and it should be used to being cut at about an inch. And eventually, once I know the yard's actually taking, we're going to invest the money into an actual gas-powered reel mower so I can cut down to a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, stuff like that. But we can talk about a lot of other products that go into that later, as far as like irons and stuff. I do have 2 things that arrived today. If you got a vegetable garden, the damn bugs love to eat your plants, especially tomatoes. This right here works on all your vegetables, fruits, even regular garden plants. It's safe. You can spray it directly in your garden beds, flowers, anything. It'll keep all those pests from eating your plants. And then this right here is what I like to call the secret sauce. This is fish fertilizer and kelp. And you mix 2 ounces of this to 1 gallon of water, and you straight feed it into the soil. Helps with actually natural microbes and biomes, and it also helps with soil from hardening up and clumping. I buy it in a gallon. It's like $30 for a gallon. You're gonna get probably a few years out of here, depending on how big your garden is. Mine's not super big, but this stuff is great, especially the kelp. It's really good for the soil.